Sunilji, we are live on the KP Startups page, right?
Yeah, KP Startups.
Okay, great.
In few seconds we are going live. You can check Abhinav.
Sure.
I think we are live now. We are now live on the Facebook. So we'll start the session, Abhinav, and
Sure, please.
Go ahead from Abhimanyu Kaul. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, all the participants. Namaskar, Sarni, and namaskar and good morning to all of us watching on the Facebook. Couple of minutes delay from our side. We are just waiting for a couple more participants to join us on the Zoom link. Thank you all for joining us on a Sunday morning. And this session is slightly different from the past sessions we have been conducting. We have been talking on the domain experts. We have got industry entrepreneurs talking on our platform and helping us in understanding about economy, the roadmap, the scenarios across now. Last couple of weeks, I was getting calls from lot of entrepreneurs in terms of and asking me, Sunil, there is still pandemic is on, lot of instability across is going on. Though economy is giving slight feelers on the revival, and what's up, what's stored ahead for us in a way, and we are still struggling across. And I asked him that, are you still struggling? Means what? He said, we have been struggling in past. He said, I will not name the entrepreneur. No, they said we have been struggling in the past. Now we are struggling. So is this is the hustle will be on, and is there end to that? I still didn't have answer to him exactly. So I just passed it on. But that thought kept me prompting in, if such entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs like us, all the people, professionals like us, have every time conflicts going in the mind about what's next, what we are up to. And is there someone to answer this? Is there someone to answer this, show us as a guiding path from his experience, from his spiritual outlook, to help us in taking it, understanding in the right perspective, and probably helping that in correcting our approach, not from the professional perspective, but from an overall perspective, from understanding the situations. Maybe the situation is pandemic, tomorrow it's going to be something else. Or as a community, we have seen the genocide, we have seen migrations, we have seen displacements for us across the globe. What next, and how do we handle it? Or where is the happiness, the contentment, or the achievement lying with us? When? That's a larger question. And there's no better person than Abhimanyu Kaul. And it's my pleasure, it's our honor on the KP Startups platform. We are glad to have him today with us in talking about and trying to answer these thoughts which we have in our mind, and they keep on coming to us. What next? What about the personal, professional achievements vis-a-vis the personal happiness, the contentment part of it? And thanks to Abhimanyu Kaul. Abhimanyu Kaul is the founder and managing director of Values in Action Corporation. He has got 25 plus global experience in countries from India, Caribbean Islands, Australia, US, Canada, advising big corporates, advising individual CEOs, global leaders across the world on gratitude, on different programs, on consulting, management consulting, and the business consulting. But here in today's morning, he's going to take us through from a perspective of spiritualism. And he has made it very simpler for us. It's not something which we'll feel about it's a tough to understand, not like that. And he's very kind that he has told all of us who are participating either on the Zoom link or the Facebook, they can ask question any point of a time. It's not going to be any PPTs or slides from him side. It's more of an interactive where these 45 or 60 minutes for us gives us some insight, some takeaways in today's session. Thank you very much, Abhimanyu Kaul, and God bless. Over to you, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sunil, and thank you all viewers and participants. First of all, for giving me this opportunity to come and share this platform and share a few thoughts of mine with you all. It is really a pleasure to connect with, I should say, my own community. And it is so good to see that you have a forum like that, which is meant to encourage and support all the upcoming new entrepreneurs. With my little experience around the world and in life, I would be happy to share my experiences and learnings with all of you, and hope it makes some sense and helps in your journey too. Whenever we think of word spirituality, I don't know, people get scared or they get little philosophical about the approach. So I thought, let me give you that relaxation of that point, that it is none of those. Whatever, and I'll take it at piggyback on our own cultural background as a Kashmiri, because first of all, I feel very blessed to be born in India, and then I feel doubly blessed to be a Kashmiri Brahmin, because we come from a land which is so beautiful, not only physically, but culturally and spiritually. It has given the world the greatest wealth of knowledge, which I think to decipher that, to even understand that, may take few generations. And then also probably we may not scratch the surface. And why do I say that is, unless and until we are aware of our history, our future is never stable. That's our foundation that builds our self-esteem and self-confidence. Who am I? So when I go to the world, I am one among the million people walking this earth. So what is my identity? And that identity is where I come from, where this whole personality has been bestowed to me. And then I bring that personality into the world and become part of a big garden. Hence, I'm a contributor into the whole system. Otherwise, I'm nothing more than an imitator. I hope it resonates with all of you. So when we look at life from a perspective of contributor towards our own self-fulfillment, I'm not giving something for just merely in a thought that I'm going to benefit you. Then my giving becomes selfish. And my giving becomes a kind of a business deal. But when my giving is out of my own joy and happiness, then it becomes a self-fulfilling process. So the more and more I am focused on my own growth and development, as a selfish, sounds selfish with a capital S, the more and more I am able to give selflessly. Because now I'm not giving because I expect something from you. I give it because I'm overflowing. When you have little, then you have this challenge. How much to give, what not to give. But if you're overflowing, then there is no dirt, there's no thought. We just share. So the more and more we are self-confident, more and more our esteem is higher, more and more I believe in what I come from, what I come with, easier for me to share with the world. And that is how our self-discovery becomes a journey. So keep this thought in mind as we move forward today. Look at our life normally. We spend at least, if not more, 8 to 10 hours a day in our professional activities, in our wake-up time, right? 8 to 10 hours we sleep, hopefully. If you're not too workaholic and you're not messing up with your life, then you must get a good sleep. So basically, in the wake-up state of 12 to 14 hours, we spend 8 hours working professionally. In that professional hours, we are totally focused on something which we expect to give us something, which will ultimately give us something which will make us happy. So I am spending time in doing a business or an activity or a professional activity with the hope that tomorrow I'll get some remuneration. With that money, I'm going to get something like a house, car, XYZ, which ultimately will give me happiness. See the chain? So if you really contemplate on it, we are looking for happiness, but look at the way we have chosen to get it. And that too with a wake-up time of 8 to 10 hours in our life, we are spending in just doing things which I am hoping will ultimately give me happiness. And the result is, when that activity which we are undertaking for 8 to 10 hours is not directly correlated with our life's purpose and mission, then we find little lack of fulfillment. We find ourselves lost in the process. Even if you get good job, good salary, if that is not aligned with my own life's fulfillment, purpose, and goals, then there is a conflict. And I always wonder that in spite of making good money, in spite of having good position, why is it that in my heart I'm still unfulfilled? So if you look at this combination, then you will get your own answers as to how should I look at my profession? How should I look at my activities? How should I look at anything in life for that matter? Because the more and more I start understanding this fact that my life goal must drive my everything else. If I get a spouse, that spouse must complement my journey of life. If I get a job, that must complement my journey of life. If I get a friends, that must complement my journey of life. If that becomes the focal point, then you start finding fulfillment, even if you're having a cup of coffee with your friend. Otherwise, you can make $1 million and you'll still chase $1 billion because you won't know how to find fulfillment. That is why probably in India, you can have a wonderful examples where a poor man is willing to share everything with each other, but a rich man thinks 100 times before he can even offer you a cup of coffee. The rich man doesn't have time to sleep because they have an appointment at night 1 o'clock. Whereas a comfortable poor man can say, I'm done for the day, and he switches off his lights at 9, 10 o'clock and he's gone to sleep. Who has a better life? I don't know. That is a question which each one of us have to answer. What is fulfillment? We all have come from backgrounds which had joint families in Kashmir. Imagine how many people lived in the same house. Each house was a party. Each dinner was a party. Each meal was like 100 people, 20, 30 people at least in one go eating. It was a festivity every day. And who was born, how they grew up, how they got married, I don't think anybody had even calculated it. It just happened. And I guess everybody came out very well. with everybody looking happy, smiling. Today, we have nuclear families growing around the world, but we are lost. Now, keep this thought also in mind. Look at time before Corona. On one hand, I find really Corona is a big challenge, a big curse. It has given us a huge tough time, if I may put it in a simple way. But look at time before Corona, when everybody was running. I used to travel a lot, and wherever in the parts of the world I would go, everybody's running. It was a challenge to even stop somebody and say, can we have a little 2-minute talk? Everybody, I'm busy. Even housewives were very busy because they had to juggle between a cup of coffee parties to the maids coming to the home. Everybody seemed to be busy for nothing, but we were running. And everybody complained, I wish I had a time. I wish I had a free time. I wish I could take a break. And when Corona happened, we were destiny gave us a break. God said, okay, you have been crying for a break. Here is a break. Sit at home and enjoy. But look at the tragedy of human mind. Even this blessing, we took it as a pain, and we are desperately looking, how do I mess it up? How do I spoil this break time? How do I find more confusion to my life? And I started calling up people, let us do the Zoom chats and all that, so that even my free time is messed up. Now the office has come into the bedroom. Forget about coming to home. It has come to the bedroom. Now it is in your hand. What you said, life, job balance, we were talking before. Like people should leave the office at office, come back home and be home, spend time with your family, with your children. Today it's more messed up. Imagine when destiny gave you a slap and it said, sit, think, recontemplate, recalibrate. We said, no, we messed it up. Now, instead of keeping the office outside, we brought it to home. Now we have it at our hands. Now it travels with us. We are 24/7 caught. Before you could go to office and take a smoke break or a coffee break. Now 24 hours your computer has to be on, otherwise your salary will get cut. They monitor you whether you sit on the screen or not. Can you imagine how tedious it has become? So what have we reached? What have we arrived at? I thought this Corona would have given us a beautiful perspective to look at life from a very personal perspective of a self-growth, and found a way out to rethink as to why I do what I do. Have you ever questioned yourself? Why do you do what you do? In my personal workshops, I used to ask a question to everybody, and I can ask all of you this question. If money was not the criteria, would you be doing what you're doing right now? If money was not the criteria, would you be in the profession what you are today? 99% people will tell you, no, I would rather pick up my camera and go. I would rather travel the world. But look at the tragedy of our life. Even though we know that this is not me, I spend my time, and that too 99% of my time, in engaging ourselves in that activity. Then how do you expect to find fulfillment? This approach to look at life, this approach to approach your life, to approach your profession, to approach every activity of your life towards self-fulfillment, in simple words, is spirituality in profession. there is no bigger science than this, according to me. If I can make my work as worship, if I can make every venture of mine as an offering, if I can make every activity of mine as a service to the mankind, I have done my bit, then I will understand the real true fulfillment in life. Today also when I talk to the young people and I ask them, I'm also young by the way, but younger people. So when I ask them, why are you doing this business? Mostly what I get is a very commercial answer. There is an opportunity. People will make more money. People will be self-reliant. They will have their potential taken care of. See, everybody is looking at from that perspective. And when I ask you, why do you want to do it? The question, like Sunil also answered me, said, I want my community to lead. So on one hand, you have a vision of leadership, but all our actions are followers. What I'm visualizing is leading, but what I'm acting is a follower. What do you want to do? I want to do what the community is doing. I want to do what the world is chasing. I want to do what the competition is telling me. That's a follower's job. Somebody says IT is good, jump into IT. Tomorrow they will say AI is good, jump into AI. Tomorrow somebody will say leave everything and go into sales. We all go into sales. That is a follower's attitude. But when I ask you why, you say you want our community to lead. And leaders don't follow, they create. Leaders don't find opportunities in running in the mad places. They find opportunity by looking at need of the people. They are not one among the competition. They create a leadership position by creating opportunities from the need. None of people, very rarely I hear, if somebody could tell that I have started it because I found a need in the society. But when you are doing it, you are certainly fulfilling a need, but the clarity is not there. When you start a business, you start thinking a need, but you get into competition as soon as you enter. Let me see how many people are already in this business. Then let me find out what strategies they are using. Who cares? Have you made your study? What is a need? What do people need that I can offer? Create that. And that's how you can start finding fulfillment. It's only when we start understanding that whatever I do in my life, whether it is eating food, sleeping, walking, working in a job, taking care of my spouse, family, children, everything is for my self-fulfillment, for my growth. Then we make life into a spiritual activity. It is then that we can call ourselves as spiritual being. So that is the beauty of whole approach. Now, how do we do that is a process. You all can create it now. If only you learn to pause. If only we can learn to pause and think. I'm open to questions, Abhinav. So
yes, sir. So I was just about to ask you a question, so I thought maybe this may be a right time.
Yeah,
Really great, sir. All the info that we are hearing from you. I just wanted to know one thing. Self-fulfillment. So ideally, what you're saying is the self-fulfillment should be the driving force. So is it possible? Is it possible that via going through the self-fulfillment course, we can be in this world, we can be successful in this world as well? So what you mean to say is there is a fine balance to be maintained between the self-fulfillment and the worldly desires and maybe expectations that you have out of your life, so that eventually you are not only going towards self-fulfillment, but you are achieving your personal objectives and goals as well in life. So there, you need to find such a stream which actually addresses both the problems, both the issues, simultaneously. Is that what you're saying? So because it should not be only self-fulfillment, because self-fulfillment without any financial backing or financial gains might prove to be a very hollow exercise, because eventually
No,
it will not
Abhinav,
support.
yes, thanks for asking. See, when the moment you said there are two different things, self-fulfillment and professional accomplishment, we missed the point. They are not two different things, they are one and same. It's something like saying, my child is the best, he just failed in math. You know, he is 100% in all subjects, but he just flunked in math. Can you call him best?
No,
So when I
absolutely.
say fulfillment, it means an overall fulfillment. So, like for my approach in my consulting in a professional environment, I provide you the help and I help my clients to perform better, to make more money.
Oh, great.
But at the same time, don't think of money. You have to learn how to spend money also. And you have to wonder like why it is happening. Because see, money is an output, which may happen, which may not happen, or may happen in whatever like degrees. There are
Correct.
people who slog it out, they don't get as much. Some people just do an investment and the stocks go high. See, there is variation in output, right? So output is not in my control, but I know how the output comes. But what is in my hand is my action, my activity, my act. So if I improve my action, then I am sure output will happen. So I'm not worried about output. Do you know
Correct.
in Olympics, when 100-meter race happens, I've heard in an interview by a world Olympic winner, who explained very beautifully. He said the final training an Olympic runner gets is thoughtlessness.
Oh,
So when they
wonderful.
are about to run, they are taught not to think. So when they run, they don't think of winning or losing. They have to go mind thoughtless, and then they run in the free zone. And that split movement of thoughtlessness gives them extra speed and an edge over others. I'm in sales. I have done sales in Canada, America, and crazy. The final test of a salesman is when he forgets that he's selling.
Awesome.
So we teach
Awesome.
salespeople how to forget that you're selling, then he starts selling. He becomes the best salesman only when he's not selling. So it may sound a little contradictory initially, but it is a fact.
So,
But how?
yeah, yeah. So, 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 money is basically a byproduct. It is not. It is not something. You do some input. You get a particular output. So, for that matter, when you make a business plan or when you think about starting your own business, then money ideally should not be a driving factor. But your plan, whether it is a new plan, the kind of investment that should go in a particular business, whether it is a new concept or a new, rather than that should be a priority rather than taking into account the considerations of money, because money eventually will be a byproduct if your plan is successful. So business
Correct.
plan should not be entailing money as a prime factor, I believe.
Correct. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask any one of you. I can see only 4 or 5 faces here. So let me ask Vinodji, if you can let me call him into the discussion here. So I'm just throwing an example. I don't know any one of you here that way. So I'm just throwing. So tell me, which profession are you in?
Hello, Abhi. My profession, I'm from consulting background. I'm a management consultant and a business coach. It has been almost
Okay.
25 years plus.
You're partially my side. So, okay. So let me ask any question to just generally, anybody starts a business, say for example, any other, Abhinav, what are you into? I'm looking
So
for
I'm into web designing, digital strategist.
Okay, let us talk any topic. Vinodji, you can also join in. So why do you think your clients do need web designing?
I think if you want to go, if you want to do business in this world at the moment, you need to have a space in digital space. Otherwise, you will lose out on
Abhinav,
majority of
not
opportunity.
discussion. I'm asking, give me quick question, answer so that we can keep moving forward because I want to convey a point here.
Yeah.
Why do you think your client needs marketing?
Visibility,
Why do you need visibility?
sales,
Why do you need sales?
for sustenance, sustenance,
Okay.
for survival.
Sustenance for business.
Yeah, sustenance for
Sustenance
business.
of whose? Business. Why did you start the business?
For your own sustenance.
No.
Can I jump in?
Okay.
Yes.
For money. Yeah, you're right.
No, not for money.
No, not for money. Not for money.
Not for money. You could have sold even, open a cart and trolley outside, you'll make more money.
Correct.
You don't need to do an MBA for doing that business, man. Why? Right. For money, you just need anything. Anguta chap can make more money.
Yeah,
come on.
Absolutely.
So, Vinodji, why did you do business?
I think the most important thing is to understand why you are there and why you have started your business. That's the first question one has to ask.
That's what I'm asking.
I think the answer is that you are there to solve a problem of the world. If that is the intent, everything else will follow.
Perfect. So now when you say solve the problem, what exactly are we doing?
We are doing what we are good at.
No, that is your action. I'm asking you, define this word solve the problem into more relatable terms for people.
I would say that I would like to help people to really be more.
So help.
Yeah.
So word is help.
Yes.
So when you are helping, what is happening to the client?
They are succeeding in their goals.
So basically what is happening is you are serving the client, what you're calling it, and help.
Absolutely.
So if you boil down any business plan, bottom line is this only.
Absolutely.
Whether you call it help or service, the bottom line of every business or any activity is serving. Because there is a need, you want to serve that need, the whole thing comes up afterwards.
I would like to just give one corroboration here, Abhi, on this.
Sure.
I always, when I talk to people in my client's place, the employees in that sense, I tell them that, this thought in their mind that we are hum nokri kar rahe hain, hum nokar hain, that kind of mindset, when the employee mentality, when we talk about, or maybe some of the entrepreneurs are there to really make money. They say that ki bhai hame job nahi mil rahi hai, mere ko dhanda karna hai kyunki mujhe paisa kamana hai. Both of these people do not succeed in their lives. Why I'm saying this is because I tell these people that if you think that you are there as a, you are doing service, basically somebody says
Vinodji, your voice is breaking a bit.
I think Vinod is going in the right direction as he comes back.
Sure.
See, the point I was making the same thing when you asked me this question. I said there are not two objectives, there are only one. And the one objective is that you learn to give to people. And when can you give to people is when you have something. Let me ask second question to all of you. Can you give me anything that you don't have? I don't see anybody else. So if people can switch on their cameras, that would be nice.
Yeah. I would request everyone to switch on their cameras and to remove the mute, please. They can unmute themselves, because
When
this
they're
is a
speaking,
free session. This is an interactive session. Thank you.
that's why I ask this question to everybody, that can you give me something that you don't have?
No, normally that's not possible. You should be having something in order to share it with.
You will be surprised. I won't tell the country, but it's a joke. It happened. I asked this question and somebody said, yes, I will steal it and give you.
Oh,
So,
might be China.
you have a variety of people in the audience.
Yeah.
I got that response too. But the fact is, in a normal society, you would say, no, I can't give. Now look at our life. How many of you want your children to be happy?
All of us.
I'm sure all of us, correct? Everybody wants happiness for our children. How many of you want that they should have a fulfilled life? How many of you want your employees to be fulfilled? How many of you want your colleagues to be successful?
Everyone.
So you as an entrepreneur, you as a boss, you as a father or the mother of the family, you want to give this to your children, to your family, to your office, to your organization, which begs the same question. If you do not have it, can you give it? So that means if you are not happy, how can you make me happy? Period. If you are not fulfilled, how can you guide me to fulfillment and make me fulfilled? So if I go as an employee, if I go with an attitude of a follower, how can I create leaders? Only a leader can create a leader. So whole definition is beautifully coming to the line that life fulfillment is not something which is separately done. It is not that I am doing a business to fulfill my life. I am doing my business as a fulfillment process, because my life is not different from my work. Expression of my life is one as a profession, one as a family, one as a community. So the way I express myself in my abilities and attributes can be different.
Vinodji joined again. I think we missed him.
Yeah, sorry, there was an outage. I'm really sorry. There was a...
No problem, Vinodji. I just took it off from your thought.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead. I'll jump in later. Please go ahead. Please.
So that is what I was trying to convey, that it is not that my life objective or my fulfillment is sitting somewhere else, and I have to do activities and then pass on the benefits towards the life fulfillment. The life fulfillment is the central post for which I do everything. I sleep for that. I have relationships for that. I have professions for it. So even if I do work 8 to 10 hours in profession, it should be for my joy and happiness and towards my fulfillment. Why can't I finish the work and say, yes, I had a wonderful day? Why do I have to wait for 30th of the month to come and say, oh, now the salary has come, now I'll find some fulfillment? Because fulfillment is not a chase. It is not at the end of the destination. It is actually in the beginning and on the way. It gets materialized, manifested multifold at the end. That's all. Happiness is not at the end of the tunnel. It cannot be at the end if it is not at the beginning.
Sure.
You cannot find happiness at the end if you do not carry it with you. The manifestations can happen in different phases, different styles, different formats, but it must be with you. You cannot approach your child and say, be happy when you have a grumpy face. You cannot tell your employees to find success and fulfillment if you have a doubt for yourself that can I succeed? Yes, Sunil.
Just sorry, I'm just coming in the flow, and probably one question comes to everybody's mind. I think I'm saying on behalf of people we interact daily and what comes to us from a very basic as a layman, I would say, from yes, we understand. Everybody understands this is right and this is wrong. And in our journey of entrepreneurship or on professional endeavor, we try to think, okay, this is, to an extent, this is right. But the larger challenge remains, even I'm talking from an individual perspective, larger challenge remains, how do we implement it and accept that fact of the matter and take the challenge on? Now coming to the example
Practical
of
point of view.
I may be happy to, I may be happy to listen to people saying, yeah, be calm, be calm, be calm. But as an entrepreneur, all of us, I mean, what the challenge remains today, I might have different multiple challenges, either from a financial or even from the employees, attrition, etc., etc. This 7-8 months has given has thrown us to the different challenge altogether. Now, how do you see, and what's two liners for all of us?
Sunil, you have asked a very good question, but now you're getting into the real consulting part of it. But here I'm willing to give you some free consulting. Okay, there is a statement we tell in corporate ladder as you climb. There's a very beautiful statement we say, it is very lonely at the top. It's a generic statement they make. It's very lonely at the top because the buck stops there. See, if you have a problem, you go to your manager and say, boss, I have a problem, solve it. The boss goes to his general manager and says, you solve it. Ultimately, he goes to CEO and says, you solve it. The CEO can't look at him and say, God, solve it. So he's stuck. And unfortunately for him, at that position, there is very few he can talk to. Sometimes nobody. It's like Prime Minister of the country, buck stops at you, buddy. You take the call. And we don't know how it feels up there because he has to take a call. Now, the beauty of life is that all the decisions that you make in life, whether it is what to eat in the morning, what to wear when you go out, as simple as that, or to make a decision which entails $1 million, all stems from your own value systems. It stems from within, what you believe in. Ultimately, it gets concretized in those decisions of life. I cannot assess anybody, for that matter, in that completeness. Even a psychiatrist, the best psychiatrist in the world, cannot do that. They only help you to decide and decipher yourself. So when you understand the flow and the logic of the process, that gives you that understanding that actually all the answers lie within. Does it not the message of Bhagavad Gita? So if you understand it, now when I told you don't worry about the result, take care of your actions, was it not Bhagavad Gita? When a salesman in America teaches, forget sales and you will become the best salesman, was it not a message of Bhagavad Gita? Karmanyavadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So if you look at it, who is Vishal is talking or is okay? So if you look at it, the whole process actually identifies that the real answer is within us. Now we have lost the process to go within. So when a question comes to you, Sunil, you ask this question very beautifully. Now what do I do? I can only show you the way and the process, but decision is still with you. Now the whole catch, what we have understood from a spiritual perspective is that, you know what they call in American, in English language, they say, hear the voice of consciousness. Now, now, is it my gas problem telling me this, or is it my sleeplessness telling me that, or is it my real consciousness talking to me? I don't know. But the problem is this, that we have forgotten the art of listening to ourselves. And for that, in this world today, I'm very happy to tell you all that meditation in different words and different terminology is getting popular around the world. In Canada, The whole police force is given a course in meditation so that they can understand how to react when a situation comes tough in front of them. The whole Western world has moved away from punishing a child in the school and replacing the punishment with meditation so that people can learn, the children can learn to go within and find what mistakes they have done and how to correct them. If my elder, my teacher, my parents are not happy with my behavior, the child must introspect, and all that is possible through meditation. Now, what is the first step? Now, meditation is a big word. I'm just using it because it's an Indian forum and that too my Kashmiri forum. So all of us are accustomed to these words. So I've thrown this word, but actually it's a big word. I don't want to get into all of that. But starting point, as you asked me, is silence. Now, let me ask you another question. I like to throw these questions at all of you. Even in Corona, when you were forced, locked into a house, how many of you, I would encourage this answer even on Facebook, even on chats, people to write. How many of you have spent at least 7 minutes in a day, waking up time, just for yourself, doing nothing? This is me time. Only 7 minutes, doing nothing. No listening to phone, no music, no radio, no TV, nothing. Just sit and enjoy yourself. 7 minutes. Honestly touch your heart and say it. If I can find even 5%, I would think that this forum is mature. It sounds very easy. Hey, you're asking only for 7 minutes in a day? Try it. And Murphy's law will make you disturb at that minute only. The moment you decide to shut up, somebody will come and beg you.
Abhi, I would like to just take a couple of minutes. I think it's quite profound what you are saying. Giving time to yourself is one of the important things, definitely. And I think what we have to arrive at understanding, all of us, we are professionals, we are entrepreneurs, we are service providers, we are human beings first of all. And I think that balancing act is very important. I think if we understand only one thing, that we have to balance between two P's and two S's. I've been writing on these 4 quadrants, of life. When I say maximize your life, say there are 4 quadrants of life. One's personal quadrant, professional quadrant, social quadrant, and spiritual quadrant. And we have to be a mix of these 4 quadrants and strike a balance and make sure that, as you rightly said, 7 minutes, 5 minutes, 2 minutes silence within understanding yourself is very important, because while your brain is working, your conscious mind is on job. Your subconscious mind should get emptied every time. If you can't empty your subconscious mind and really allow that to really give it up, as wonderfully you said, that you have to overflow. If you are overflowing, you can only give. If you are not overflowing, so how will you overflow? Overflowing will happen when you allow things to come in. वो मैं हमेशा एग्जांपल देता हूं कि एक टैंकी है, ओवरहेड टैंक है, उसमें अगर टैप नहीं होगा, if you don't take water out, it will stink. It has to allow thoughts and learnings to come in, and we have to be so mature. And I think maturity comes like this, and I think all of us are mature. It's not that we are not mature, but we don't want to see the reality. That is the problem, with most of the people. When I go for my trainings, when I go for my coaching sessions, let me tell you what example I was sharing with you, especially with all my friends here and who are listening to me right now on live, is that a lot of people do not have this they have a self-esteem issue. They don't have self-belief. They don't understand their own purpose of life. They don't know how important they are. We are very important. We can really, we have so much of potential. We can give a lot of things, to the communities and the people out there. So ये जो employee mentality होती है, या entrepreneur ये बोलता है कि मैं पैसा कमाने के लिए business धंधा शुरू किया है, ये thought थोड़ा सा अगर लोग change करें, ये बोलें कि मैं service provider हूँ, मैं solution provider हूँ, मुझे सेवा भाव से, मुझे वो जो हम आजकल लीडरशिप में भी सर्वेंट लीडरशिप बोलते हैं, leadership in service. So I think I would only say, with your seconding your thought process, and you are sharing wonderful nuggets with us, is that everyone should be able to balance everything is possible. You don't have to really react to everything. You should be training your mind to respond to things, and make sure that whatever comes to you, you should be able to first, वो जो मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि जब हम ट्रैफिक लाइट पे खड़े होते हैं तो तीन, एक येलो होता है, एक ग्रीन होता है, फिर रेड होता है. We have to go through these three processes. But normally what happens is we block everything. We stop everything immediately. We don't look at yellow light at all. So you have to pause a little bit. You have to look into things, you have to contemplate, and then you have to react. You don't have to react to everything. And I think the competition has to be with yourself. Are you a better version today? And मैं हमेशा बोलता हूँ 26 साल हो गए अभी, 26 years. I say proudly that I have not taken a break while I have enjoyed my life to best of my ability. I have not taken a break from work, but I have been with my family, I have been with my friends, I have been with the social work, I have been with everything. And मैं बोलता हूँ यार 18 घंटे आपके पास है, 6 घंटे सोओगे ना, 18 घंटे में तो आप दुनिया चेंज कर सकते हो, और लोग बोलते हैं टाइम ही नहीं है. Why are they busy? Because they are in chaos, because they are chaotic in their mind, they are not organized. तो मैं अभी कंसल्टिंग में सिर्फ एक ही चीज बोलता हूँ सर, कि थोड़ा अगर हम लोग ऑर्गेनाइज हो जाएं चीजों को समझने के लिए, एंड पीपल लाइक यू हु कैन एक्चुअली are showing light to people, to really understand the whole stuff, I think that will change the world. That will change the whole mindset of the people. So great to have you.
In the corporate also we say that, if you want to give work, give it to a person who is busy. Don't give it to a person who is free. Because a busy person knows how to manage his time and it'll get done. But if a free person will again mess it up. Okay, Abhinav, you mentioned pranayam for 1 hour. Brother, that 7 minutes is not in that.
Yeah, I did understand that. I did understand. I just, yeah.
Pranayam is also an activity.
Absolutely.
7 minutes is doing nothing.
Yeah, completely thoughtless.
Just sit and enjoy, man. Enjoy yourself. And then after 7 minutes, do pranayam. Do whatever you want.
Absolutely.
I want 7 minutes. Just sit. As you said, lazy. Look at yourself. Feel the breath. See that you are breathing.
I think the mere thought of all this has really made me so internally happy by default. It's so nice a thought. I just wanted to know one thing. Bhagavad Gita lessons. Now, can this be given to corporate leaders? Is it relevant? I mean, because Bhagavad Gita lessons are very practical, very relevant. I'm not saying you go deep into Bhagavad Gita. What I'm saying is anything which relates to life as such, because they're all universal laws. So has this ever been tried? Maybe by...
Oh yes. Yeah. Bhagavad Gita has already been converted as a course also in many management schools. So lessons from Bhagavad Gita is very popular actually. People have made it very beautiful slides and everything. But the fact of the matter is, Bhagavad Gita is not one concept. It is not a novel to read. The problem is, if you look at Bhagavad Gita from that perspective, you may get benefit, you may not. But Bhagavad Gita is like a life book. Correct. In my personal opinion, everyone should keep it. You must keep it like a handbook with you. And har din utha ke na, if not much, at least one paragraph padho to sahi. Just read, contemplate, sleep on it. Because the point is that shlok, that version is not an ordinary thing. Even if a kindergarten reads it, not literally kindergarten, anybody who's starting into the journey will also find a message. Even a scholar reads it, he will also find a message. Because it's a summation of the whole Veda. That's why it's called the biggest text in Vedanta. It's a Vedantic text. Because it summates the whole learning in those chapters. If maybe possibly, then we can give a little bit of introduction to Bhagavad Gita sometime.
That will be great. That will be great. So we will.
Yes, that is an amazing science. Pardon me?
Yeah, I would like to share something here. Just getting an opportunity to share something. Last 4 months, my father is converting shlokas in Urdu. We are working on a project, and next month we are publishing a Bhagavad Gita by my father. He has done some work on it. Now, while reading this, there's one gentleman, very revered gentleman, Jagannath Kaul in Jammu. He lives in Subhash Nagar, Rihadi colony. Professor Jagannath Kaul has, I would recommend very strongly that Jagannath Kaul Saab's Gita, which is basically, he has translated it in English, like shlokas are in English, and then the translation is in English, and it's profound. It is such a thick book, and he has given an explanation of each and every shloka such beautifully. And my father, he has taken some references from there, but then his idea was to convert that shloka so that the Urdu reading people can read it in Urdu. The shloka itself, the Sanskrit shloka, normally people can't read Sanskrit, so what I'm saying is, it has given me a great experience last 4 or 5 months of these. That's also one of the time slot I gave on this, and I really endorse your views that everybody should at least start reading it, start contemplating Gita. Thank you very much for this.
Thanks a lot.
Kashmir is a wealth. I'll tell you, Kashmir is not just a landmass.
Yes.
I only wish and pray that our culture comes back to that glory. It is not just a piece of land. It is a pedestal. It's a crown glory of the whole spiritual heritage of the world. Every elder was a saint.
Yeah.
The realized souls used to wander in the streets of Kashmir. Looking at finding sages were not a quest to go to forest. You could just sit at home and they'll walk into your houses.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, we call them moth because they behaved like one to shun off, filter the unwanted and ungrateful people. We were from the land of riches. For us, miracles are nothing strange. For us, knowledge is, we are the one whose lady has defeated Shankaracharya in debate. We are not an ordinary, heritage, but we can't sit on our laurels. If we do not respect our culture, our language, Kashmiri, the script is Sharda Lipi, which comes from Brahmani. Brahmani is Brahma's Lipi. So the first version of Brahma, then came Sharda Lipi. Our Lipi has got over 115 odd alphabets. English has only 24. Like, you cannot even match the magnitude of our language. Our script has a potential to write every sound. So, it's a word for us.
Yes.
These are sound. These are words for us, man. Imagine the profundity of our language, that every sound is captured and can be written in that script. That is Sharda Lipi. Every alphabet in Kashmiri is a Bij mantra. When we say every letter of Kashmir, it is Bij mantra. That means while you speak Kashmiri, you are chanting. You are actually activating yourself just by speaking Kashmiri. Forget about chanting mantra. Kariu kat kashir pat, you go mantra siddhi.
Abhi, bumara bono to ek kashir patan ak cheez. Buchus panyan kashan bayan te benyan manan akui Angrez patan mantra banyu, that I am aware that I am rare.
But Kashmir is like that. You can't deny it. And that's why I tell you, I have to use an international language of English. I travel. But I feel so hurt inside that we are losing a beautiful, a treasure of a language called Sharda. That's our heritage. And we are not proud to teach our children that. We are not even thinking that how it builds their self-esteem, how it could become a pillar of their confidence tomorrow, that I am inherited of that greatest language available, which we are just fading, we are losing it away. Every letter is a mantra, Bij mantra. Agar aap puja bhi na karo, if you do and no worship, just speak Kashmiri Leelas. you will realize. It is as simple as that, buddy.
That's great to hear, actually.
Because it's a Bij mantra. Our names were created like that. We are not Sunday, Mondays names. We have everything so scientific. The way you are born, we had calculated exactly like the Vedic style. Our Jantri is 5,600 years old, buddy.
Oh.
People talk about 200-year-old generation. We have a documented booklet in our hand, which is dates 5,000 years plus. And how can anybody tell me that 300,000 years back they came and killed our culture? But my recorded document, Jantriya, Aisha se Uchan daily.
Daily.
Yeah.
That is 5,600 years old. Can you imagine? Just look at the comprehension. What is my heritage? But now my duty is to go back, regain that. I can't sit on my laurels and say, oh, my great-grandfather was great, so I'm useless unless and until I build that self-confidence. I learn about my culture. People can they imagine Kahka Patthar? How many of you have seen Kahka Patthar? Brajuraya mein tha. There's a 25 kilo stone. 11 people touch it and they say ka ka ka, it rises.
Oh, awesome.
Nobody has seen it, huh? I'm surprised. Thankfully, my maternal grandfather was there and I visited him and said, come, how I would say. It was fantastic to see Kaga Patthar, a 25 kilo boulder, just 11 fingers on it, and you say ka ka. It's 11, and the stone rises.
This is where? This is in Brijbihara?
Brijbihara.
Oh, awesome.
We have also experienced, yes.
Because we have, in Kashmir, we have so much treasures. But have you ever thought of it?
There are so many things that you've told me that I've heard for the first time. I was amazed that 5,000 years old Jantri, and awesome, this is something, and the Bij mantra that you said. And I just want to know one thing from Sunil ji. It's a cross question. It is a question to Sunil Trisal ji. Sunil ji, we really got to know a lot of things today about self-fulfillment. Magar mujhe ek cheez batao regarding the marketing strategy. Do we include self-fulfillment as an integral part of marketing strategy? I have never heard from you. So tell me one thing. When are you going to integrate this?
Do you want me to answer in an honest way or in a very diplomatic marketing way?
No, I think you can do both in the diplomatic marketing way as well as the honest way, both.
Bhutan has calculated happiness index.
Yeah, highest.
As a GADP. So why can't we calculate happiness index for your company?
No, I'll tell you. Can I come in? On behalf of Sunil, can you hear me?
Yeah, there is some, but we can hear you. Please continue.
Sunil ji sun deck board, it is a chamak raha inka deck. So it is a self-fulfillment. Forget about marketing strategies. I think what Sunil's fulfillment is his chamakta hua deck. Favithan's deck bajar. I must say.
Medovki, I have interacted with Sunil ji so much. One is self-fulfillment to part I want to know in time. Baki sorry, he is a very talented man and exceptionally talented. He has a lot of experience. But self-fulfillment, thoda manch 1%, 2% magar zyada na kya. So that is why I wanted to know.
Companies, I always like to promote happiness index. We have created a kind of a method of calculating happiness index in the corporates, and that index actually guides the whole process of flow of the organization.
Is there a formula how we calculate a happiness index? How do we?
So Changna, you are a person who says just give me 1 spoon the whole self-realization.
We don't want to open your secrets too much on the
5 steps to self-realization. Abhinaji says, give me 1 spoon to self-realization. Brother,
no, we would certainly have a separate session for that.
But yes,
5 steps
that is,
to
these are
self-realization.
ways to look at life. And this is what I call spirituality in profession. Spirituality is not something else. I can express my spirituality by singing bhajans, by singing leelas, by doing service activities, or by going to work, or by serving my clients, or by creating solutions. So my spirituality is everything what I express.
Absolutely, and it is not that you need to go to the mountains or the forests in order to express your spirituality. It is
My
more of a,
master,
yeah,
my
it is more
master
of a,
gives,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
my master gives a very beautiful statement for it. It says, head in the forest, hand in the society.
very
That
nice,
is the way to live.
very nice.
So it
And
is
it is
not the
more,
body.
yeah,
It
it
is
is
not
more
the
like
body.
a Raja Janak kind of a mentality, wherein you are the king, but then you are a highly spiritual person who has been acknowledged by Shri Ram as well, and who has said that he is a supreme person, a person who has been, who's in the worldly this thing, but then he is an even a kind of ultimate spiritual person. So that,
Certainly, certainly.
I
You have
think
given a very good example. Janak is the example for that, but that is Raja Yoga. But that statement, I can leave you with this statement, head in the forest, hand in the society. That's how a true living should be.
thank you, sir. Thanks a lot. Thank you. I think
Thank
you've been great, sir. You've been great. The kind of information, it's an eye opener for a lot of people. The people who are watching you in Facebook, in entire social media, as well as the people in Zoom. And it has been our privilege to host you for this session.
One
And
last.
sure, Kapilji,
Kapil,
please,
Kapil,
Kapil
come.
Matuji from Mumbai. Yeah.
uh, So basically, see, I represent the passionate field, the passion. So what role does passion play in this whole self-fulfillment? Because I come from a passion-driven industry, or I am a very passionate guy to my work, to my organization, to whatever I create. So what does passion to do with?
When you're saying you're from passion industry, are you from the media industry?
He's from the movie industry. He is a film
Yeah,
director, producer, actor.
Correct. That's why I could understand. So,
Yeah.
Kapil, don't call it
Because
passion.
no,
Don't call
I
it
am saying
passion.
passion. I am just saying it passion because because this passion. No, we use this word passion in such a but we basically misuse this
Correct.
eventually,
That's why I'm
and we
telling you,
get carried away,
don't use the word passion. You are a
and we
creative
get carried
person.
away.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Creative person. A passion to alag matlab te gasan.
It has a different. No, I
Yeah, yeah,
understand what Kapil is trying to say, but
yeah.
Kapil, it becomes a connotation is can be different. So say creative, because passion is required in everything you do. If I'm cooking,
Oh,
I can be
correct.
passionate about cooking. Why not? I drive with passion. I cook with passion. I serve with passion. So passion is not something you have to be worried about. But your
no,
item is
but
how
we
do I take that
disconnect,
into
but we disconnect with that also. Like we keep like when we are cooking, then we get detached. When we are driving, then we get detached. So we get automatically detached there. But when we are in a field which is kind of a field which is which is a 24-hour, you use the word passion, meaning creativity obviously is a term, but passion is that you're so much involved and you get engrossed in it and you get carried away in it. So there's no end to it. Like you're not able to stop yourself.
You're
So
not tired.
so
You're not
in
tired.
that sense,
Yes.
so I'm asking you in that sense.
see if you look at if you look at spirituality from that perspective, from your definition of passion, if it's like Ravan was also passionate, but if the goal post had moved, then it went into negativity. If that passion can be focused rightly, then your 24/7 is the biggest sadhana you're doing. So never forget that goal towards which your passion is focused on. The same key can open the lock, the same key can lock it. It is where you turn. If you turn right, lock opens. If you turn left, it closes. So passion is not bad. Where it is focused, can determine which way you fall. So be careful in that. For that, you need self-assessment continuously. That what am I focusing on? Is it for my development or for my fall? And that is why I was giving Sunil that hint that start practicing silence. Start with 7 minutes a day. Do nothing, just sit down quietly. Because in that quietness, once you arrive at that real quietness, the answers will come. Your clarity will come. Your whole decision will become clearer. Your mind will find clarity. So the beauty of it is, in your silence only you can find the answer. But if you are not learning to get silent, then the environment will kill you. They will throw you, toss you from one end to another, and you will think you are passionate, but actually your passion will be used and misused by people around you. So to keep your passion focused, you have to centralize. It's like anchoring. So never lose your anchor. Never lose your anchor. So for you, it is more important because you are so passionate in your work. For you, it is much more important that you must take a break. And for you, I will tell, take 17 minutes break, not 7 minutes. You must take 17 minutes of doing nothing. No music, no headphones, nothing. Just lock yourself in one place or look at the ocean. You are in Bombay, just stare at the ocean. If you don't have ocean, stare at the sky. Night sky, look at a star. Do nothing, just stare at it. That's all for 17 minutes. You need anchor. Never lose that.
One of the things, just wanted to ask you, sir. I think Kapil Mantu's answer has been given nicely. One of the things is that when you say about being silent, I've actually observed it because I do meditation, and whenever I am silent or doing, obviously, doing meditation is also not, it is also an action. But whenever you are cool, you are peaceful mind, the kind of thoughts that come automatically about your business, because maybe subconsciously you're thinking about your business, and the kind of ideas that you get, I'm telling you something secret, or maybe everybody knows about it but they are not able to, I've not heard from anyone else. The kind of ideas that you get in pure silence, those ideas might look very illogical if you think from your brain, but then eventually when you realize that these ideas are very effective and they're very, very good when they're practically implemented. What I'm telling you is the kind of great ideas that you get in pure silence automatically, without you having to think about those ideas, because maybe subconsciously it's going on in the brain. That those ideas, do you go by that gut feeling in business, or do you apply consciously your brain every time, not believing your gut feeling, not believing your the maybe the the third conscious, or whatever be the case? Because what I've seen is, when I believe that gut feeling that I get out of when I, that is absolutely correct, maybe 100% correct. So is that for real, or is it just illusions?
Abhinav, if you had a guru guiding you, he also tells you something, and if you believe him, you follow it. You don't analyze it.
Correct.
Use that. Since you are practicing meditation, so you are able to now hear or get some kind of a thoughts in that manner. People who are not used to it, that for them silent sitting is required. But when you get the information or that kind of an idea, who stops you from putting it into action? Put it. If it goes through, it was meant to be. If it does not go through, it was not meant to be. So why attach yourself to it?
Correct. You're very right.
But you have an idea which is bestowed to you. See, nothing is in ourselves. We are like a hard drive, we are like, and Wi-Fi is running. So when I connect Wi-Fi, then the download starts happening. So right now, what is happening in your meditation, you have connected the Wi-Fi and download is happening.
Yes, very right.
So now, since download is happening, accept it. Why
Yeah,
doubt the download?
rather than analyzing whether the download is does have some malware or virus, but you don't have to think about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and in beauty of life is, if it is supposed to happen, it will happen. If it is not supposed to happen, it won't happen. So don't push too hard. Don't push too hard. Life is a river, flows. You don't push the river from behind.
Correct.
Understand this secret. So the moment you start pushing extra, pause to think, then you think. But in a normal pressure, when things are happening, enjoy the ride. You may push once, you may push twice, but it's not happening, then just back off. You will slowly start learning how much to push. You will learn that, you will get it automatically. But you have to take the jump. And especially when you get into your meditation and you find those thoughts, execute it. Work on it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Awesome. I think
Enjoy.
Sunilji, yeah.
I think the time will be again less to listen to Abhimanyu, and it will be always a privilege, we have a consecutive sessions henceforth also, because as you said at the beginning also, that this time is very less to Dilip sir. Dilip ji, you want to ask question?
Hello. Ha, namaskar, Mara.
Namaskar, Dilip ji.
I don't want to ask any question. Actually, it's a very wonderful session. Wonderful things Mr. Abhinavji has shared. The only thing what I have learned today after going through the whole session, because whenever I speak, I always, I'm a little bit serious, the way Abhinavji has been smiling and keeping it all the time. I have seen him. It's a really wonderful, so comfortable level, whatever the way he speaks and all those things. So it's a fulfillment one should learn. I have learned this thing. Thanks for the wonderful things you have shared. I just want to thank him. That's all.
Thank you, Dilip ji. You've been always wonderful joining meeting after meeting. So great to have seniors like Dilip ji, who has more than 25 years into the logistics domain in Mumbai, and he's a great person. So thanks a lot, Dilip ji. Your attending itself is a great motivation for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would anyone want to ask questions so that we are at a closure of the session? And
No, I would like to thank Abhimanyu. I think it was wonderful on behalf of KP Startup and all the team members, all the entrepreneurs, all the future businesses. I always wish that all Kashmiri Pandits, come into entrepreneurship, really take up this as a conscious career choice, so that we can transform our own lives, and we actually set up best practices for our future generations also. And people like you who are there in industry, who have been there, I think interacting with you is always a wonderful thing. So we will have more sessions with you. Abhimanyu, I think this was really great, and I thank you from bottom of my heart for your sharing. And I can only say that, guys, let's strike balance in life. I think life is beautiful. There's nothing great than having a life and a one-time charge we have got from the Supreme. I think we all have to really give best to the world, and whatever best we can offer to the world. And I think learn from each other. That's the most important thing. So once again, Abhi, it was great having you here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. My pleasure. Thank you so much.
I think Abhimanyu has, what he has just tinkled the conscious mind of everybody who has listened to him today. That everybody knows what's right and what's wrong, and a wonderful session. And we were very honored, and we were very glad. And the time was less, and probably we would love to have you in the future. And definitely we will take some courses where we'll talk about Bhagavad Gita and maybe a couple of sessions.
Yes, that would be great, because we can use it on a different platform.
Yes.
KP Youth Conference, but then we'll certainly arrange this Bhagavad Gita conference. Thank you.
And God bless you, and God bless all of us. God bless the community. God bless everyone who's listening and who could not attend today. and we wish everyone a safe and healthy life, peace and happiness, what we spoke about. Thank you very much, Abhimanyu Kaul.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Thank
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 you,
you very
sir.
much.
Thank you, everybody
Abhimanyu.
who's
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you, Vinod.
Wonderful. Thanks, Kapil.
Thank you, Sunil
Thank
ji.
you so
Thank
much.
Thank you,
Thanks,
Vinod ji.
Vinod.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very
Veena
much.
ji, namaskar.
Thank you, ma'am.